Hello, Thousander Club. We're back. It's me, Adam Zern, and Linda Zern, my mom. This conversation is actually a little bit different than our previous conversations. Our previous conversations we have debated with a certain level of conviction. This particular topic we actually agree completely on. And the topic that we're going to talk about for the next couple of minutes is the importance of fiction and how fiction can improve us as human beings, and from my perspective, I recently wrote about this, can even improve us as professionals. So why don't you start off, Mom, and talk a little bit.
I would love to.
All right, go ahead.
So this book, Thomas Tryon, Harvest Home. What fiction does is allows you to be in situations that you would never find yourself in. It's a dry run for life. You can go into a spaceship. You can be on a ship in the middle of the ocean. For example, this book, Harvest Home, is a warning to all human beings to stay away from fertility cults in the northern states. Never go north. This is one of the scariest books you will ever read, and frankly, I would not go to New Hampshire, because I'm pretty sure that's the state where this happens, and it's about a cult. But now, see, I'm warned. Fiction warns.
Of the many problems we face in our lives, one of the most scary problems is probably fertility cults. So I agree mostly. Maybe we are going to debate. I'm not sure. I thought we were in agreement on this particular issue. To further some of what my mom is talking about here, fiction does allow us to kind of experience. It's a laboratory, right? There are situations, fertility cults, for example, that we may or may not have been a part of, but even beyond that, some really difficult moral situations, some really difficult ethical situations, or quite frankly, just some of the simple domestic type stuff that
bosses.
Cane Mutiny is a great book. Here's the thing about a book like The Cane Mutiny is it's very similar to how we might experience some of our relationships, in terms of you thought they were a certain way, then you realize they weren't that way at all, they're actually this way. I remember reading this book and I felt like every 10 pages the whole dynamic was changing, and that can happen in our lives all the time. The dynamics, our personal relationships, those dynamics can change all the time, and this is a great example of something like that happening, and we can experience that without getting burned, right? We can learn something from it.
That's what fiction is. Fiction is a dry run. You can go and be on a ship in the middle of the ocean with a crazy boss, and you can kind of walk through that scenario, and you don't get court-martialed for it, which is a big plus in my opinion, because who wants that?
Agreed. I think and then you can actually Google this and find articles about how reading fiction literature, I will point out that it should be literature and not some of the drivel that's out there, because there's plenty of drivel, just like any form of entertainment. But reading fiction, literary fiction, can actually make you, can help you, let me say it that way, can help you become a more emotionally intelligent, can help you be able to better relate to other people, which, my goodness, what a wonderful skill to have as a professional, as a human being. Fiction can help you feel something,
yes,
in a way that nonfiction never can. One of your books, which I'll give a shout out to, which is
thank you,
phenomenally great, called Mooncalf, is classic Southern literature. Tough to read at times, but it makes you feel something.
Yes.
And that is important for us as human beings.
Not only that.
Oh boy, what do we have here?
But this is Wool Omnibus by Hugh Howey, one of the great
sheep cults.
success stories in indie publishing. This is if you ever get to be trapped in a silo at the apocalypse, and they tell you that you need to go outside and take the steel wool and clean off the windows. Don't go.
Don't go.
Don't
go.
Don't do it. You've been warned.
Another solid point. Another book I want to point out, especially for leadership, for professionals, a book related to leadership that I think really, really provides some incredible insights when it comes to leadership and integrity and honesty and morality is The Once and Future King by T.H. White. You can see that this is my mother's copy because the cover is a disaster. Dumpster fire, as the kids say. This book is bursting with leadership lessons.
And let me just say in all seriousness that as a lonely loner in high school, this man got me through my high school years. I went to my high school library and I read absolutely everything they had in that library by Ray Bradbury, and he truly is I just can't say enough about what this man did for me as a youth and in my youth. When I didn't think I had any friends at all, I went to the library and I found Ray Bradbury, and he was waiting there to be my friend. So
that is probably the best testimonial that we can give regarding fiction. People don't get choked up when they talk about the latest McCollum biography. As good as they are, and some of them are very, very good, but fiction cuts to our cores. It cuts to who we are as human beings, what makes us human beings, to those inner feelings, those spiritual impulses even that we have. And so I think you and I both agree, and we both make the case for fiction, that you should find time for fiction, literary fiction, not just the Dickenses of the world, but even the Ray Bradburys of the world, who is, quite frankly, unsurpassed. I agree with her wholeheartedly. He is a magician when it comes to storytelling. So we hope you agree as well, or maybe you don't. Let us know in the comments if you think that fiction is as important as we think it is. And if you want us to debate or talk about a certain topic in the future, please let us know.
I'll debate it.
Yeah, send us a topic and we'll debate it and talk about it. We will see you next time, Thousanders. Thanks.